I'm having a fucking Lunchable, motherfucker.
Ooh, which one?
I don't know. Why'd you ask the hard questions?
I don't know. You're eating it.
Turkey and cheddar.
Like, what is this?
Turkey and cheddar. Well, I don't know, but the turkey and ham kind of, it looks the same. The turkey and ham look the same.
I bought a $6 microwave burrito from the grocery store yesterday, and I was like, this better be good.
So how's your diarrhea doing? Sometimes we just get into it right away, which is okay. Welcome to, what's this called?
Handful of popcorn.
Okay, all right.
You're welcome.
It cut you off a tiny bit, but that's because your singing voice is so beautiful, and Discord doesn't.
Discord, it was like, ew.
Discord hates art. This is Earnful of Popcorn. My name is Tammy Wenceslas. And what's your name today?
Wenceslas?
Wenceslas, like the Christmas song. Oh. Jolly old King Wenceslas, right? Isn't that it? I don't know.
I am.
Oh, I should probably turn my phone off.
I'm Shady Wollabin.
Wollabin? I like that. There's a kid in my graduating class whose last name is Wollaber. That's close. Anyways, last time I saw him, we were never super close friends, but when I lived in Portland, I found out he lived there too, and we met up once. And you know how I am, and you know how people who are my friends are. And this guy was also like a metal kid kind of thing, and chill, laid back. And what I'm trying to say is we're both burnouts. And so we met up at I think we had lunch at a place that was in the mall there, and then we spent like an hour and a half trying to find where we parked his car. Maybe it wasn't that
Seinfeld.
long. Just like what?
Just like the episode of Seinfeld where they can't find their car.
Oh, is that a thing? I've not seen very many episodes of Seinfeld. Isn't that weird?
Really? Huh, I would think that'd be right up your alley.
A lot of stuff is, but I'm also like a crazy person. I'm like scatterbrained and I forget things. And, Seinfeld's great every time I've seen it. And then I'm like, we're talking about it right now. Next time I sit down to watch something, I'm going to watch it? Absolutely not. There's no way I will ever remember that I said I would watch it. Plus, I'm still trying to work through all my unwatched Blu-rays, but...
There's just too much fucking shit to watch.
Yeah, I hate streaming services, too. You know what I hate? I hate that they call it content. I think we've talked about this before, but I hate that.
Well, I sent you the thing on Instagram about the VHS store opening.
Yeah.
I think they're opening one here in New York again.
Wow.
In Brooklyn somewhere. I have to find it, but I like that people are like, you know what? Fuck streaming.
Yeah.
Let's go back to physical media.
Right. But I think that goes back too far. Because here's the thing, it's like vinyl. People, vinyl came back, you know that. You were a vinyl DJ for a long, long time. You still have vinyl. I love vinyl. Vinyl sounds really, really good, right? Mm-hmm. Then there was a little bit where people got into cassette tapes again. It's like, but hold on. Cassette tapes do not sound good. They were cheap and easy to make. Plus, there's the whole fucking rewinding and fast-forwarding thing. Even on a vinyl, it's easier to skip tracks, So,
yeah, the only fun and nostalgia thing about tapes is making mixtapes.
Yeah, that was dope. That was really fun. So the VHS thing to me is the same thing. It's like nobody watched VHS because it was good quality. It was cheap and available. So being nostalgic for that to me is like well, just get Blu-rays and stuff. To me, DVD, Blu-ray, and now 4K. It's like those look great. VHS, If you monkey with it, you can make VHS look good, but I don't know.
Well, I wouldn't want anyone to start putting new films on VHS.
Well, yeah, I know that, but
my favorite thing about VHS is watching the previews on them because a lot of times it'll be movies that I completely forgot even existed.
Totally.
So, yeah.
My favorites are not even the trailers, but the weird-ass commercials they would have on VHS, like Batman drinking Diet Coke and stuff like that. Oh, there's a really good, I think it's a Diet Coke ad too, but there's a really good one. It's from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, but it's like a commercial. It was probably on the tape for that movie, and it's like, Indiana Jones. Obviously, you just see his hands and like the back of his head. He didn't actually Harrison Ford's not gonna do that shit, but it's like he goes in and there's an old knight that from the ending of Last Crusade, and that you see the Indiana Jones hand pick up Diet Coke, and the knight's like, "You chose wisely." So, but yeah, a lot of stuff like that, or like weird little shorts. Like there was a bunch for a while. There was a bunch of Disney movies for a while that would have a Roger Rabbit short in front of it on VHS.
And the theater. Also, I have a couple. You would have concerts on VHS too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and, taping stuff. I mean, we, like you said, mixtapes with cassettes. I mean, that is the tape format of things. That's the benefit there, because it's very easy to, even a store-bought one, if you knew what you're doing, you could turn it into a mixtape. Remember? You just put tape over that hole. Mm-hmm. Scotch tape over that one hole, and then you could fucking record on it.
I'm looking at my VHS tapes right now where I recorded Adult Swim and Kids in the Hall.
Oh, yeah. So the tapes have their place, but it's like, as you know, I'm all for retreating back to physical media. I just think that, let's not let VHS be the be-all, end-all, because it's not the best quality. That's the thing, is like VHS, like even Blu-rays can decay. I'm sure vinyl can decay too, but like tapes really can. And like, if you set it next to a fridge magnet, then it's all fucked up. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. But do you remember way back in the Dizzy, I had an awesome Devo VHS. I think you and I watched that once.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And then did I ever show you, and these are both things I lost to the annals of time somewhere, but did I ever show you the Mr. T VHS I had of his inspirational after school special? Be Somebody or Be Somebody's Fool?
Maybe it was either you that showed me that, or I've seen that on YouTube.
Yeah, you probably have. The song is the most famous. Mother, there is no other like mother, so treat her right. But he starts it, he's like, I want you to be yourself, because if you don't be somebody, then you're going to be somebody's fool. It's like, fuck yeah, Mr. T.
Oh my God.
And there's another one where he talks about tabling the label, basically saying don't wear designer clothes, make your own clothes. And he's like, do you think Gloria Vanderbilt or Bill Blass has your name on their jeans? And then the next segment is something outside, and he walks into frame, big fucking Adidas logo on his shirt. It's like, okay, dude, well.
Okay. I'm getting mixed fucking signals here. I'm a child. What am I supposed to do, Mr. T?
Mr. T, fucking give us a clue, buddy. It'd be cooler if that old weird shit was on a better format. But it was on this cheap, easy-to-get format called VHS, and so it's fun that those will be around. So these stores are going to, sell old VHS, or what are they going to do?
I think it's all old VHS.
Like they just find used VHS in places and get it back out there?
I don't know. I didn't look too much into it, but...
That's cool, though.
I mean, that's pretty cool. So what format do you have this movie in? You have it in Blu-ray? Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. So you got to watch it. It looked really cool. I watched it on YouTube.
Well, I'll tell you what, though. I mean, there is a ceiling for this movie looking cool, I mean, this is a Vinegar Syndrome does a really great job. They find the stupidest fucking trash movies and give them shit. They give them the royal treatment, but there's also only so far you can go. But yeah, so today's movie.
I was gonna say, did we even say what we're?
No, that's okay though. But I was about to, but then we said the name of the show first. Then we talked about a bunch of horse shit. So we're doing it in the right order. But this is Earth Full of Popcorn. I'll say it again. And this is a free-form horror movie discussion podcast in which Andy Sullivan and I take notes while we watch a movie, and then we talk about it. And I don't even know if I can read my own notes. But today's movie, well, hold on. Well, the theme. We have a weird theme for this month.
Yeah, you suggested this, and I loved it.
Right. So Shandy and I both have birthdays in the first half of April. We're both Aries, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we each chose a movie that like in some way made us think about the other person or relate to them or something. So if you know Shandy, you know she's all about cats, and so I was trying to find a good cat lady movie, and this is actually the third choice because the other two were not available like anywhere. But here we have 1988's Uninvited, which is directed, written, produced, I think everything by Graydon Clark. So there you go. Shandy, can you just give us like the one-line elevator pitch synopsis of what this movie's about?
I just watched this last night. Okay, how would I synopsis of this movie?
Yeah, like what would you say on the back of the VHS box?
Cat.
Good so far.
I'm trying to think like the best way. Hold on. What do you say? Like a radiation poisoned cat escapes laboratory, finds their way to the bad guys on a yacht and kills them.
Yeah, mayhem ensues. Yeah, and this is another great, you and I talk about this all the time. The problem with the cat is not super explained. Yeah, radiation seems to be involved, but otherwise we don't really know what they're doing to it, right?
No. I don't think they know what they're doing to it.
I don't think they know what they're doing either. And you know what? Graydon Clark is that scientist with the glasses at the beginning of the movie. That's the director.
Oh, it is? Oh.
Yeah.
You mean the one that goes, radiation team? Or radiation alert. And I'm like,
radiation alert. What the fuck?
You guys aren't even wearing fucking radiation suits and you're holding the cat.
Yeah,
like,
the cat escapes and he's like freaking out about it. So he grabs the intercom and he's saying all that stuff into it. The intercom looks like just a phone, and at first it looked to me like it was not plugged in.
Probably
it might have just been a long cord, but it looked like the cord was hanging down on the floor. Which would be par for course with this film, but it's like this cat escapes, and it's a beautiful orange cat, and it looks to me like they're only experimenting on beautiful orange cats, right?
Yeah, and that cat was really, really, really pretty. Very big old foofball.
Yeah, do you know? Maybe that's the term for the species, floofball. But do you know? Is that a certain species of cat?
So that cat kind of looks like a domestic long hair orange tabby. So it's just like a regular domesticated cat, which would make sense for a laboratory to have a whole bunch of cats because those are the easiest to have accessibility to.
You can fucking take them right off the street.
But also orange cats have a really unique personality too. So when I was like, oh, of course it's an orange cat. Orange cats are cuckoo.
And I would say this orange cat definitely has a very unique personality.
Dude. when they're just inserting meows and there's a shot of the cat and the cat's mouth isn't even open. Yeah. I was laughing so hard.
Yeah, it's there was so much meowing and the cat's running around like so he when he escapes in the beginning when he escapes in the lab and he's running around it's just like meow, 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 like constantly. And I loved that. And then the doctor guy is like, oh my God, it's escaping. So he calls in the alert and then he like gets a gun. And it's like, yo, if you're a doctor and you hate taking responsibility for your monstrous creations, try guns. It's like, what? And, before we get too far into the movie, though, I want to say the very first thing you see when you start this movie is the production, like most, it's a production company's name, right? Do you remember what it says at the very beginning, the very first thing?
No, what did it say?
Amazing Movies presents.
Oh, yeah. I went, this is going to be not anything amazing, is it?
Right. Well, you know what? When it comes to making a film or presenting any sort of entertainment, you got to have showmanship. You got to have confidence. You got to be ready to tell people, hey, you're about to see something great. So why not? But,
Incredible cinema productions.
The The best thing you've ever seen. Yeah. Productions. But yeah, I loved that. And yeah, this is, I think it was pretty much independently produced.
Oh, man.
But yeah, so the kitty cat is running around meowing all the time, and you see them. Do you see them inject something into it before it runs away? Yeah, right. They're trying to give it a shot or something.
It starts off with the X-rays of a cat's body.
Yeah.
They're looking at it. They go, okay, well, we need to see what's. It looks like what's grown inside of the body, so they're about to sedate it, and then the cat freaks the fuck out because it's got something inside of it.
Right. Because it heard them. The cat was like, what are you saying? Oh my God, I gotta get out of here. You know. That's my cat voice all the time. A dog voice is like, oh no. My lizard voice is similar to the cat. You know? No, my lizard voice is different. Because I'm always saying stupid things to Roy, and then I'll like pretend she's saying back to me like, what do you want? That's the lizard voice.
Anytime you say Roy, I just go Roy.
Yeah.
Roy.
Oh, because of that.
Because you sang it like that.
That's what I do. Yeah. I mean, yeah, the cat runs off, and they're chasing it.
Well, as somebody that deals with and handles cats all the time and goes to the vet all the time, watching these two guys who, you know, we find out have been experimenting on these pets with some form of radiation. Watching them handle the cat in the way that they did, I just went, of course the cat's going to get away. Look what you're doing.
Oh, they picked it up wrong?
Holding the cat right.
Oh.
Like, what are you doing?
So, Shandi, please instruct myself and the listening audience. How do you pick up a cat?
Well, if you know these cats we call them fractious cats when they are, you know, when they're hissing a lot or they get really upset. Especially a lot of cats and animals get upset at the vet, right?
Yeah.
When you have two people, you have one person either have like the big gloves to protect your hands and your forearms from getting scratched. You hold the cat down, you kind of get on top of it and hold it while the other person does what they need to do, whether it's a shot or drawing blood, or you take a blanket and you put it on top of them and then you just hold the arm out. Because that makes them feel more secure and safe. But these dudes don't know what the fuck they're doing. So I went, of course, insanity is about to ensue. Because you're experimenting on animals you don't even know how to handle.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Well, and I would assume that is what's really happening in places in real life where they're experimenting on animals. They don't know anything about taking care of the animals, you know?
No.
And they definitely don't know what to do with this cat. And so when it gets away and they're running around, the doctor gets a gun and he's chasing this thing around. And
well, he kills the radiation team that are in the hallway, right?
Right. Yeah, we see a security guard dead, right? And then it's like, whoa. And then the cat goes after the radiation team. And so that's when you first see the cat's new ability. Can you tell me what that is?
I went, what the hell is that? What is that? What the fuck is that? I was like,
yeah.
It looks like a cat gopher Sasquatch, mini Sasquatch looking fucking thing.
Right.
It almost looked like a critter, but if a critter and a cat were meshed together, like had a baby.
Yeah, right. And then you made the baby soaking wet. Is kind of what it looks like.
But then also kind of looked like a werewolf too, like if a werewolf baby.
Right. Well, and speaking of werewolves, I haven't seen it, but I believe Neil Jordan's film The Company of Wolves has a werewolf transition where you see the wolf basically come out of, at least this is on the cover of the movie or the poster, you see the wolf like coming out of the person's mouth, which is what happens here. Is the cat opens its mouth and then the crazy monster cat comes out of its mouth. Oh my god!
And
the beast within.
I go. I love the hand puppet.
Yes.
The hand puppet demon cat thing was so
and like
funny.
you can tell they're just like shaking it, like shaking it to make it look mad. It's so
and then
good.
Blood is just flying.
Oh, everywhere. It like fucks these people up.
Oh man.
It's really good.
Oh, it was so funny.
And we find out later that it's like poisonous too.
Yeah, you have no idea what's gonna happen. You're just like, okay, they're dead. Oh, that sucks. Okay.
Yeah.
Just the cat kind of just sauntering and running away.
Yeah. Because it's amazing how they do it, because it's like they show close with the cat opening its mouth, and then they kind of do a jump cut to what's clearly a puppet of the regular cat with his mouth open, and then the monster coming out of it, which is also a puppet. And then, like, it kills people, whatever, and then it will just cut to a shot of, like, the normal-ass cat running away. Like it's done, you know?
But I also went, oh, no, so they're really concerned about this cat getting free, but, oh, there it goes. So I went, radiation, just walked out of the building.
Yeah, they really don't care. And, in fact, you know, I would have loved to have seen, we'll talk about the ending later, of course, but they definitely hint at that there was more to the story. And I would have loved to see like a big budget sequel where it's like now the world is fucking radiation sick. Everybody's got fucking cancer and shit from radiation run amok from these cats, and the cat monsters are everywhere. And like humans have to like live in hiding, you know, kind of like, I don't know, in that Matthew McConaughey dragon movie, you know, where you have to like, Reign of Fire, where you have to like hide from the roving mobs of these fucking puppet cats. Be great.
I wrote the same thing down too. I went, this would make such a badass fucking sequel. Because when people were getting bit, they were getting infected. So it reminded me of zombies. And then, yeah, just like you said, instead of having zombies running around, you have a bunch of people that have fucking cat puppets coming out of their
That'd be awesome. Mouth. And why didn't I say zombies when I was trying to explain like a post-apocalyptic monster movie? I went to the fucking obscure Matthew McConaughey dragon film instead of a fucking zombie movie. Hello. Anyways, because I'm not good at this, but
because that's how our brains work.
Well, I think saying our brains work is a lie. So that is how my brain attempts to function.
They're trotting along just like this cat.
Along. Yeah, and I don't know, you know, and like you said, the director, he probably didn't know much about cats. He just wanted to make this crazy ass cat movie. Someone had this fun idea. Okay, let's do it. I'll tell you what else. I would say he also doesn't know much about women, and in writing the two main female characters that we first meet in the scene right after this, it made me feel like he maybe does not talk to women.
He doesn't know women. He also doesn't know scale. The scale of the thing coming out of the cat's mouth is way bigger than the fucking cat. So is it like it grows when it comes out of the mouth and then it shrinks?
Well, you know, like you said, werewolf. Maybe it's similar to that too. It's kind of a supernatural element, you know. So I don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking this like, so the cat is the carrier of like this thing. So this thing could be alien too. Yeah,
it could be, but you don't really know when, you know, as I always say, I love that. Like you can, you know, but I do think what you've just said about the scale and cat size is way more thought than anyone who made this put into it. It's like, I don't know, it's a fucking cool puppet, bring it out. You know? Maybe someone was trying to make like a critter or like that thing from the first Creep show, and then they accidentally set it on fire, and the director was like, "Hey, that looks good. Let's write a story around it."
Yeah, I don't know about these girls. I don't like these girls. I don't like them at all.
I do. Well, here's the deal. You know, you and I were texting last night, and you were like, "Everybody in this movie's a butt." I'm like, "Well, yeah." And there's a point where you said that one of the girls gets more awesome, and I'm going to ask you about that later. But when we first meet these girls, they're just like in town for spring break, and they're just like, yeah, we don't have a hotel room. We're just going to go in here and like seduce a man into letting us have a hotel room. And the clothes these girls are wearing, and clothes and wearing are both very loose terms here, but
yeah, they wear bikinis the entire time.
Bikinis, yeah, and then they have, when you first see them, they got like these stylishly ripped up, torn up T-shirts, right? And I was like, what is the purpose of these? And one of them is a Spuds MacKenzie shirt, which is fucking cool. Okay, you know, that's so late 80s, Spuds MacKenzie. But also it's like the shirts are like barely there. And of course these girls are like hot, good looking, of course. So, and you're in Florida for spring break, you can walk around in your swimsuit. So it's like, why why do you have these torn up shirts on? You know, do you think having these on will let the hotel think you're fully dressed and let you in? You know,
That's just like such a weird style that I've never understood. Like,
yeah,
especially like when people wear pants that have like the hole is from like the top of the thigh all the way down past the knee.
Yeah.
You seen people wear those jeans?
A little bit, yeah.
Where there's just a gaping hole. Yeah, it's basically
weird.
The jean is just at the bottom and at the top.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to show off your body, go for it. But, like, there's got to be, like, a better-looking piece of clothing to help you do that. You know, just wear little shorts, you know?
Just wear little shorts.
Wear little shorts.
I know it's all style, and everyone's style is different than ours.
Sure.
I just don't get it. And that's okay.
Totally okay, and I don't get it either. But I tell you who does get it is the millionaire or billionaire that they meet, named Walter. And it's immediate. He's like, hey, girls are like, hey, you. Like, no one even fucking knows anybody. And they're just like, hey, we don't have a room here. And he's like, hey, you want to come out to dinner with me?
He says, leave your luggage here. And they just fucking do. You just met this dude. Does he own this hotel? Nobody knows.
Yeah, you don't fucking know.
You're just leaving your shit.
At some point, they use the fact that they know him. They say that to he says that to one of the hotel employees. Like, hey, they're with me or something. So maybe that helped. I don't know. But like I said, they don't think of this stuff through very well. Just like how he's like, yeah, come to dinner with me. It'll be fine. And then it cuts to the restaurant. It's like a fancy restaurant. And these girls are sitting there in their swimsuits with these torn up T-shirts. And it's like, there's no way the restaurant would let them in. You know, a restaurant like that, they'd be like, excuse me, you'll have to at least put on shoes.
At least. And Walter gave me such Weekend at Bernie vibes.
Yeah, he's very much like that actor. I forget his name.
He just like him.
Yeah. I'll look it up quick. Terry Kaiser, yeah. Very, very Terry Kaiser-esque. I'll tell you what, though. The guy who played Walter in this, so that actor's name, Alex Cord, okay? I thought he was great at this, you know, at playing this huge fucking sleazebag. And I was like, well, why isn't he in more stuff? Well, he was on Airwolf for like 5 years or something. Remember that show?
No, what's Airwolf? What the hell?
Oh, dude, okay, so I was like, you know, in the mid-late 80s, I was like a 6, 7, 8, 9-year-old boy, right? Airwolf was about like these cool guys that have a combat helicopter fly around and do missions. It was like the A-Team, but they could fly.
Yeah, that passed me by.
Yeah, well, they even had like a video game for it. Look, Ernest Borgnine was in it, Jan Michael Vincent, that's right. And Alex Cord was on it. So David Hemmings, whose horror heads are going to know from... he's in Deep Red. Anyways, he's the guy that looks like Paul McCartney. Anyways, so Alex Cord, that's where he was. But, like, I think he's great at this kind of role. He's just immediately slimy. Just like, hey, girls, and I have all this money. And, you know, just like you immediately are like, ugh. And that's a good job on his part, you know?
Yeah, when he goes, yeah, come with me and then we'll have a party on my yacht. No strings attached. And I went, yeah, right.
So the two other guys, come in that are Walter's henchmen, basically. And they're played by George Kennedy, who's in a bunch of shit, but most people recognize him as Frank Drebin's partner from the Naked Gun movies.
Uh-huh.
The one who's not O.J. Simpson. That's I think that was his character's name. But no. And then the other one is Clu Gulager, who's been in a whole bunch of shit and has a really confusing name. Clu Gulager, right? It's kind of hard to say, sort of.
Clu Gulager.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm going to look up right now. Is that his real name? No. William. But maybe he loved Clue. I don't know.
Gulager.
Anyways, he's in a bunch of stuff. I believe he's in Return of the Living Dead Part 1. He actually, one of his last roles was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Hey.
He's in, that's right. He's the dad from Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Oh my god.
The crazy fucking dad. Yeah.
Holy shit.
That's right. He's also in The Hidden. Man, he's got some horror credentials, man. He was also in, like I said, Return of the Living Dead. So, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
He's in I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. Wow. Puppet Master 5.
How many
He's in Tangerine?
Are there?
Oh, dude. Puppet Masters, there's like 14 of them. It's crazy. They're still making them. And there's spin-offs. It's crazy. The whole full Mooniverse is nuts. But so Clue Gulager's and Tangerine, which is that indie movie made by Sean Baker, who just won a bunch of Oscars for Anora. And it's like a very indie movie, I believe, shot on iPhone about these two transgender sex workers. And Clue Gulager's in it, I guess. I've seen it. I don't remember him, but yeah. So
he's from the Midwest too.
He's is
from
he?
Oklahoma.
Oh, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Shout out to Clue Gulager. And then George Kennedy is in so much shit. When I started collecting Blu-rays and genre movies and all this stuff, there's a few actors that, I never really thought about that suddenly became a big part of my collection. One was Wings Hauser. Another one who just passed away recently, R.I.P., the Sleazeball King. But also George Kennedy, who, like I said, I knew from the Naked Gun movies, but good Lord, he's in a bunch of shit. And he's in so many weird fucking movies that I own now. He's in Charade. He's in this. He's in Creepshow 2. He's in Delta Force. That's right. He's in a ton of stuff. And so I think these two actors are just collecting paychecks here, I think is kind of the deal. But
yeah, he's in everything. Like, he's the most recognizable person in this film.
Yeah, and I would say the second most recognizable is actually at the very end for just like 2 seconds, and it's Austin Stoker, who plays the Caribbean guy at the end that they like, the police officer. He's in the original Assault on Precinct 13. Is that what that's called? Yeah. And he's also in one of the old Planet of the Apes movies. But anyways, but so you meet his like thugs, whoever these guys are, and as far as hitmen go, it's like these are two fucking grandpas.
They're so silly and so dramatic.
Oh yeah, like George Kennedy's character Mike is just like a fucking sourpuss the whole time.
Sourpuss and a worried wart.
Yeah, worrywart's another good word for it. Yeah, maybe even better than sourpuss. He's definitely both, though. Clue Gulager is a fucking moron, and later on, he's the one you see murder somebody, and he's like bad at it, and it's like, why do you have him murder people?
Does he have fake front teeth?
I think so. It certainly seemed like it.
I wanted to ask you that because when he's like driving the boat and he was getting drunk, I was like, are his teeth fake?
Yeah, they have like some close-ups, and I'm not sure. Yeah, this is definitely where I believe the Blu-ray I have has some documentaries, so I'd be very interested in some more information about this film. But so we meet them, and then as Shandi said, we cut to this amazing, stupid scene where they're at this gas station, and the cat's there, and this guy mugs another guy to steal his car. The guy's not a good mugger.
No,
like just come up and fucking hit the guy. He like asks him. I don't know. It was weird. But yeah, they didn't bet on the cat, and so the cat is in the truck and fucking comes through the glass right from the back of the truck and kills their asses.
I saw the cat, like that's when I had the realization. I go, this cat or whatever is inside of it does not like bad guys.
Yeah, it might have some sort of moral sense to it.
Because the guy that got mugged was feeding the cat some milk and being nice to it.
Yeah.
So he was like, what the fuck? This guy's nice.
Yeah.
You just fucking hit him and shit and stole his shit. Fuck you.
I'm gonna kill you and your friend. Yeah. In your pickup truck.
And get a ride.
Right, that's what I was thinking. Maybe he was getting a ride into town, because I'm sure the animal testing facility was out in the middle of nowhere. That's where they normally have those in real life,
Yeah,
So he the cat hitches a ride into town and murders those guys, and it's awesome. And then we cut to our male teenage characters. The jockey one, I forget the jockey one's name. So the jockey kid has this fucking hat on, and I wrote, nobody has ever been laid wearing that hat. It's the dumbest fucking hat.
Isn't it like a boat fisherman's hat? Don't fishermen wear that hat? Yeah, sort of,
but it's like, but it's not even that cool. It's like, I used to wear a bucket hat. I've also not been laid very much, but it's like, no, it's just not good. But I'm trying to find a picture of it because I should have written a better description than just like, this hat's stupid, But anyways, yeah, and they're sitting there talking about like, we're at spring break. Should we go down to the beach? And his friend's like, no, you got to hang out at the marina. That's where you meet girls. And then, of course, the two girls we saw earlier just waltz right up and are immediately like all over these guys, right?
Yeah, she just puts her hand on his leg and shit. I was like, damn.
Yeah. Out the gate. You know what I kind of liked though is I like that they're, because so many movies like this, the dudes are going to be like that, and so I kind of liked. Oh yeah, let's let the women be horny. Girls get horny, so let them be horny and crazy. Although it's a little too much, But whatever. But yeah, they're instantly befriending these guys, and it's also because this guy Walter told them like, you can come to a party on my yacht. And they tell these boys, well, we're going to bring you with in case he messes with us. Which is a smart move, right?
Very, very smart. And then we realized...
It would be smart if they knew these other guys.
Yeah, they don't know these guys either.
They're just inviting more strangers to come along.
Well, and then there's a third friend that comes along, who I guess is the nerd of the group.
He's the nerd, yes.
Because you always got to have a nerd.
Yeah. Oh, the jockey guy's Lance. There you go.
Lance.
Anyways, of course it's Lance. Perfect. Yeah, the other guy's Martin Hedgeworth, the nerd, who's a biology student. Yeah, and then, so you got the jockey guy, you got the nerd guy, and then you got this guy, Corey, who's typical 80s rich kid asshole who's, like, obsessed with making money. And so when he finds out that the girl's boat is owned by this Martin guy, he knows his last name. I can't even remember it. But he's like, oh my God, really? Yeah, because he's, like, a famous stockbroker or stock trader kind of guy, right? So he's all excited to go be on their boat.
His hero.
It's his hero. Now, the actor playing Corey, this is fun, all right? So the actor playing Corey, I'm like, man, I feel like I know this guy. And so his name is Rob Estes. And you know why I know Rob Estes, and a lot of people will? He's the fucking main character of the TV show Silk Stockings. Do you remember that show?
That's him? What?
What was that show about? He was a detective.
I feel like that was a show that like my mom used to always watch.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally.
I have no idea what it's about. I just remember, like, what a crazy name for a show.
Yeah, the series, well, it's great because the Silk Stockings, like you're stalking someone, right? I love that. Here's the synopsis. The series portrays the daily lives of two detectives who solve sexually based crimes of passion, which they nicknamed Silk Stockings, which is probably completely made up. But they're in Palm Beach, so he might have gotten that based on this movie. He's like, hey, you're good at being a fucking idiot and you're in Florida. Come make our sex show. But, yeah, but he's another one who's good. Like, all the actors in this movie are good, I thought.
I thought they were good. It's just, man, the fucking script was shit.
You thought so?
It was just... Okay, maybe it wasn't just the script, but it was the music, too.
Oh, the music is awful.
So there were moments where I forgot I was watching a movie and I thought I was watching some just like really shitty fucking sitcom.
Yeah. Yeah, the music's bad. And the like soundtrack songs that come on were all written and performed by the same people, and they're awful.
Just terrible.
It's like shitty. It's like the shittiest version of Huey Lewis and the News you could imagine. That's
yes.
kind of what it sounded like.
Just fucking god awful.
Yeah.
And there were moments too, I don't know if you noticed that the music was louder than the audio track.
Yeah, than the dialogue, yeah. There was also a bit later on the deck of the boat when Walter says something, and the first sentence or two that he says is like really hard to hear, and then it's fine. So it's like, did they fucking forget to like mic him or something, or what? But there's no part of this movie that's perfect, but I thought the actors were all good for their roles, and and they're fun to watch. I mean, it is crazy how the women are immediately like, hey, boys. And the boys are like, what's up? Especially the Lance guy with the redhead girl, Bobby. They're just immediately like, she's like trying to grab his dick immediately, like you said. She's like working her way up the thigh as soon as she sits down. And he's like, no problem with it. I mean, look, and I've been that age. You're on spring break. If a hot lady in a swimsuit comes up and start grabbing your thigh, you're probably fine with that. But also, it's just like, it's all very fast.
So fast. I was like, whoa, you're already like grabbing on each other. You just met.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done that before.
And then what is the nerdy guy says, I can't remember who he compares himself to, but then when the other two start hooking up with these girls, he's like, I guess I'm more like Woody Allen. Like, what?
Yeah, that didn't make any sense. I caught that he said that. I was like, so the girls are too old for you?
Yeah, I was like, oh no, he's gonna go fuck some kids.
Ugh.
Stop him, alien cat.
That's what I was saying by like the script is like, what? A lot of times they would say things and I go, what?
Well, Graydon Clark, the director, wrote and directed, he wrote this all too. And so I don't think he's ever met people. I don't know. It's just like, it's
the
really
first
weird.
time he met anyone was on set.
Yeah, he's like, oh, other people, finally, Maybe that's why he went after like these more actors that had a lot of work already, because he's like, well, I don't know how to do any of this, so they will. I can guess someone like George Kennedy, who'd already made like fucking 75 movies at that point, so include Gulager. I'm sure, I bet, I don't know anything about it. I'm basing this off nothing but my own instinct. I would guess those guys probably had to like also teach him how to make a movie. I could be wrong. I
can see that.
It had that vibe. They're like, okay, yeah, no, you got to turn the camera on and then I talk. And you got to say action. Oh, okay. That kind of shit. But I don't know. But I might have it in the wrong order. But at some point we go to the boat where Walter and the two thugs who are grandpas are there. And they've got this like stockbroker kid. So they kind of had this guy in on it. But then he's like, well, I think you're going to blackmail me. So there's only one way to make sure that you don't. And they take out their guns, but then he just has Clu Gulager slowly drown this guy in a hot tub. Right? It took for fucking ever.
I mean, it took so long that his arm starts fucking twitching. He's like, I'm just tired. That took so long.
You're right. And it's like, to me, I'm like, why the hell is this guy's job to murder people? He's a fucking idiot. But I don't know,
Maybe they didn't want to get blood in the hot tub because they know the girls are coming and like that's gonna be their cover.
Well, he says,
right?
Yeah. Well, Walter says right after Clu Gulager drowns guy, he's like, clean up this mess because we got these kids coming. And then Mike, the George Kennedy's character, Mike, is like, I don't want these kids around. I hate kids. And he's like, well, it's a good cover, that we have like a party boat. It's like, okay, which is that good cover?
I mean, what cover is that? Is that just being like,
no? Well, we're out here heading to the Cayman Islands because we got these babes with us. It's kind of like, I guess, what he thinks he can say if the cops stop him. Or the Coast Guard or whatever,
Well, I think that, didn't he say, like, oh, they're going to come search the boat? So it's like, so what if there's, like, chicks on the boat? They can still come and search it, you dummy.
Yeah, I don't know, but I don't quite know his plan.
Yeah, I don't think he knows it either.
The screenwriter's plan was like, I got to get all these people on the boat.
Dude, I don't think Walter knows either, because doesn't he they keep making a point of saying that he's drunk?
Yeah.
They're like, whatever, Walter, you're just drunk.
Yeah, he's like drunk all the time.
He's just wasted all the time. He don't even know what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah, you're right. He's just making decisions. He doesn't really know.
Because doesn't he go to his sidekick dude? He's just like, man, don't be like a party pooper. Like, just chill out, relax.
He's like, just relax, Mike. And Mike's the sourpuss.
We'll get our money.
Their whole gang organization, whatever they are, some kind of mob thing, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. And I feel like, I talked about several episodes ago when I lived in New York and was poor, and I wanted to somehow join the mafia. Right? Mm-hmm. I feel like if these guys were real, I could easily become their leader in a month, maybe less.
Yeah, they needed someone like you.
And then Clu Gulager would be like, but we already have a silly guy with big eyes, me. I'd be like, shut the fuck up, you're old.
Yeah, but you would have pigtails.
Yeah, I would definitely have pigtails. And
so
Walter would probably try and fuck me. So, whatever.
Oh my God.
Hey, I like your hair there, little boy.
Oh my gosh, you in a bikini with pigtails? He totally would.
Yeah, totally. He'd be too drunk to really notice that I'm just some dad.
Hey, Timmy, that could be your next Halloween costume. It could be the girl from Uninvited. You have your pigtails. Oh. You have on the bikini. You have on a ripped up T-shirt, and then you have an orange cat.
Yeah. So I should be Suzanne. That's Suzanne, the blonde girl.
Here you go.
Suzanne, you're all this cat needs in the world. You're not a very smart young girl. Oh, Suzanne. So yeah, that actually brings up, that's what's going on. They walk onto the boat the next morning, and she sees this orange cat, and she's like, oh, he's so sweet. And the nerdy guy, Hedgeworth, is like, "What's this?" And they find like this collar around the cat that like indicates it's from a lab.
And they just throw it. They take it off and throw it.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Like,
it's
what?
like you should at least keep that in case it's important.
Did it have like a name? It had a name of a laboratory on it, right? And they only even say
probably,
it.
Yeah, it probably. You're right. Yeah, they probably told them what was in the fucking cat.
Well, you know what I think it was? I think because they say something about like, oh yeah, the cat probably got away, and they do bad things to cats in those facilities. So I guess you wouldn't want to call them to return the cat.
No, they say that. They're like, we're not going to... Suzanne says it like, no, we're not going to give him back. But also, you would think you would still keep it just so you know what's going on.
Exactly, yeah.
With this cat.
They put it in your pocket.
Yeah. It's and the nerdy guy is like, well, he kind of is like, well, we don't know what the deal is with this cat. It's been experimented on. And she's like, but it's so sweet. So she keeps
and has a whole argument with Walter about it too.
Yeah, and then she gets on, and Walter's like, I don't like cats. I want this cat around me, and and she's like, it's gotta go. But right before that though, he tries to like, they want everybody to get off the boat because he didn't want these girls to bring other men on the boat. Is kind of what it is. Who
were also uninvited.
Right. Yeah. All right, you watched the movie. But you're right, that's the title. And that is where it comes in. And the cat is also uninvited. But that first, and Mike, who's just the sourpuss guy, is like, I don't want these fucking kids with us. And Walter's like, yeah, the SEC's gonna come. We gotta go right now. We don't want these kids with us.
Calls them punks.
I don't like these punk kids. I fucking love it. Oh, he's so good at it. You know what? And I feel like that was just him talking. That was just the actor talking. Mm-hmm. Just like that. It's just how he is. He's like, God damn it. These fucking little pieces of shit. But then, there's a girl, another lady character who's the captain of the boat, and her dad owned it and died or something. And Walter owns the boat, but she's trying to get it back from him. And so she doesn't really like him, but she's like, I need crew.
She's like, well, Walter, we'd have a crew if you weren't such a fucking asshole to all of them.
Yeah. He's like, so what? I ran my mouth and they quit. Big deal. It's like, well, you are a toxic personality. That's why they left.
So I don't know much about being a ship captain, but I went, okay, so they don't have a trained crew.
Right.
This is a big ass fucking yacht.
It is, yeah.
They're just going to let these fucking kids that don't know anything about boats. That is not safe. If something goes wrong, if the ship like breaks down and like, how do they know how to do anything?
Well, I think we learn pretty quickly and clearly that they don't. And that's exactly what happens.
I didn't know that. I'd never seen this before.
Oh, you're talking about like when you were watching it, you were saying that. Okay.
Yeah, because I went, that's not good. This can't go well for them.
Right.
Also because of this cat that's on board.
Right. They don't even know that shit yet. But already they're fucked. Even without the cat, they're fucked. They're like just a bunch of idiots. And like the guy that owns it is a drunk, like lecherous slime ball. Then they start partying right away. And like everyone's drinking and Walter's eating a banana. That's a really weird shot.
Okay, I wanted to ask you, so have you ever been drunk and wanted a banana?
No. Have you?
No.
Because what the fuck? That's a weird thing to want when you're drunk, I think.
You know what? He was probably eating it offset, and they were waiting to set up the shot, and then they were like, oh, we're partying. He's like, well, I'll just bring on my fucking banana that I'm halfway done eating.
We gotta go. We only have this boat for 2 more hours. Go. Yeah. I mean, a lot of this whole thing seems like the production was like on the seat of their pants. Like, holy shit, we gotta get moving.
I was cracking up so hard when both the girls are dancing with their 2 guys, and then the nerdy guy's just dancing by himself.
No, he was playing backgammon.
No, there was a shot where he was dancing before that.
Oh, really?
So he's dancing. Wow. It's over to the left because I was laughing so hard. He's just all by himself, and the way he was dancing totally made me pee myself because it was just so fucking funny. And just their awkward, horrible fucking dancing. Like,
yeah. Because I don't know about this guy, because I was watching Corey's terrible dance, so I must have just been distracted.
Well, Lance was like, he at one point put his hands in his pockets and was
No,
just
that's
like
Corey.
Gyrating his fucking hip. It was so
That's
weird.
Corey. That's Corey's
Is that
dance, because that's what
Corey?
I was about to say. Yeah, Corey's a blonde guy. He has his hands in his pockets.
Okay.
Lance is not a great dancer, but Corey's like up there with Crispin Glover in Friday the 13th Part 4.
Oh my
like,
God,
it is
I
like
wrote
a
that
fucking
down.
insane. You wrote that because that's what I wrote.
Yes,
I said it gives Crispin a run for his money because he has his hand in his pockets, which is a weird fucking awkward thing to do when you're dancing, and just
weird.
everything about it. It's like, and at least Lance, well, the girl Lance is with is so like wiggly and all over him that it's like, you know, she's like kind of all over him anyway. So his dancing, I didn't really notice. And I was so busy watching Corey be horrible at dancing, I did not notice the other guy was dancing for a little bit.
Yeah, he just for a second, he was feeling it.
That's probably when he's like, you know what? I know I'm not good at this, so I'm going to go play backgammon. And Walter, you know, then it's not long after this, he goes over, and the nerdy guy's now playing backgammon with the captain girl, and he just starts calling her a dumb bitch and all this stuff. It's fucking crazy. He's such an abusive prick.
That's when I go, oh, he is drunk.
Yeah. And he calls her dumb bitch several times.
Yeah.
And George Kennedy calls one of the girls bitch too. It's like, these guys fucking suck. You know, I mean, there's never an argument made otherwise. It's made pretty clear that they're just like shitty asshole criminals, you know? But,
Is the cat running around on the ground?
yeah,
at this
so the
point?
cat's already running around. Yeah, because the girl's like, I'll take care of him, and then just fucking sets the cat down and like does nothing with him like for the whole movie. Because at this point now, the captain girl's in with the guy playing a game. So who's at the steering wheel? It's Clu Gulager's character, Albert, and he's getting loaded, and he go like. And then the captain comes back. She's like, what the fuck are you doing? We're off course. She's like, I'm drinking or whatever, you know.
She's like, I have to figure out where we even are now.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, she's like, yeah. Like, he just made my job even harder. All right, if you ship around these fucking pricks, just get out of here. And he's like out of wine, so he goes to get more wine.
Oh my God.
And then the cat's sitting in the cooler, which, okay, how did the cat get in the cooler? I don't know.
The demon thing inside of him opened it up.
Oh, did it? So the demon thing knows how to undo a latch or whatever?
I guess that's all I thought. I was like, I guess that's how that happened. Or somebody had opened it while they were drunk and the cat got in while it was open. I mean, cats are fucking stealthy and they're fucking
That's
quiet and smart. So like,
Yeah.
I've had cats get by me like out of a door and I didn't even notice it until I saw them like down the street.
Yeah, that's a good point. They are
So-
smart, but it's just like, this is a cooler, but whatever. It's
But
fine.
this,
But, hey, Graydon Clark, if you're listening, we just solved all these problems for you, and I'm sure we'll solve more. So if you're going to remake it, at least show maybe have a scene where the demon cat arm comes out of the regular cat's mouth and, like, picks a lock.
that would be so funny though if there was a shot of the thing come out of his mouth and like opening the cooler and go, because like for some reason
Yeah.
the cat needed to be cold, like the demon thing inside of
And
it.
the cat's
like
thank you. Yeah. Let me get that for you. And it, like, opens up and yeah. But Clu Gulager opens the cooler and he's like, "Oh, it's a cat!" And he's like all pissed off about it. He's like, "Get away from my wine!"
he fucking spits. They actually
Yeah.
flicked wine in the actual cat's face,
Yes,
and I
you
got
could tell that's
fucking
what they did.
pissed. I went,
Yeah, yeah.
this cat better kill this asshole.
Yeah. And it does. He's doing that, and then the cat starts going, "Ah!" And then I think they cut away to like the party or something. I forget what they cut away to.
I think so.
Because then they smash cut back to a close-up Clu Gulager screaming and like gushing blood out of his face. And it's awesome.
Oh man, yeah, there were some cool little special effects moments in this movie.
Yeah.
The like blood spurting out. So his scream was really funny too.
Yeah, it was great. Well, he also got killed right before this. The Return of the Living Dead. He's in that too. He's good at getting killed, so. But yeah, he gets fucking murdered by this thing and then falls off the boat.
But see, he was mean to the cat. He's a bad guy, so he got murdered.
You know, you're right, because now I'm thinking about it, does a cat kill anyone who's not mean to it?
No. Anyway, this cat is inconvenienced, you're getting murdered.
Yeah, this cat's a real Karen. You know? But instead of let me speak to your manager, just bites their throat out.
Yeah. I don't think it's in the credits, but is this a famous cat? You know, sometimes you have
I don't think so.
Is it in the credits?
I don't think so. They do say no animals were harmed in the filming of this production.
Whatever, spit fucking shit in its face.
Yeah, if you spit in its face, I think that should count as harm.
That is so bad.
Yeah. So then the next day, they're like, well, where's Albert? And the two mafia, or whatever, Walter and Mike are like, well, it looks like he got drunk and fell overboard. Let's not tell anybody, because then they want to go back and look for him, and we got to go to the Cayman Islands. Dude, what buttholes? It's like, this guy just murdered someone for you. Come on, you know?
And then they're like, well, there's no sense in going to look for him because he can't swim anyways.
Yeah. Because the captain, when the captain does find out, because she and the scientist guy, scientist guy are looking, they're doing something else, and they notice this bloody spot on the rail and broken glass, and it's like, oh, she fell off, oh my God. And they're like, yeah, well, but he can't swim, so he's dead. Just keep going to the Cayman Islands. And that's when Walter's like, well, yeah, if you just ignore this man's death and drive us to the island, I will let you buy the boat for cheap. That's basically what he says.
You want your dad's boat back?
Yeah, what an asshole.
Such an asshole. What does the nerdy guy find, though, when they do discover that he's gone over the thing? Was it a piece of clothing?
Yeah, he finds a piece of Albert's tie or something like that. He finds a piece of clothing, with Albert's blood on it. And then he takes the sextant, which is a nautical tool for figuring out, your coordinates and stuff, right? And it has a glass thing in it, but it's not a microscope, but he uses it as one. And then he gets a magnifying glass and puts it under it. So it's okay, I guess this kind of works. But then he uses it the rest of the movie. It's I don't think this is this dependable of a microscope.
If we have any biology students or biologists that listen to this podcast, let us know if that would work.
Yeah, because he says he's a biology guy or whatever, but... he's a biology student. It's okay.
He's like, oh, the cells are mutating, right?
Yeah, it's mutating, yeah. So then, here's where Walter really nails it home that he's a complete piece of shit. He goes in where Bobby is working out in the craziest workout outfit I've ever seen. But it's there's hardly anything to it. She's, she's hot and sweaty and doing all this stuff. And obviously, whatever she's wearing is no excuse for what Walter does. He starts trying to rape her. And Lance comes in and tries to stop him. And then Mike, George Kennedy's character, comes in and shoots Lance. Right? And then right after he shoots Lance in the shoulder or whatever, the cat comes out from under a chair and bites Mike right in the Achilles heel, right in the ankle. And he's screaming and gushing blood. It's crazy. And then the other characters come in.
I don't think everybody saw what came out of the cat, but that one girl did. Not Susanna.
Yeah, Bobby.
Bobby, yeah.
And I don't quite understand how the poison works. And again, like most of the things in this movie, I don't think the filmmakers did either. But the captain girl's we got to get him to a doctor. And so she goes up to try to do that. Walter follows her because he wants to keep going to the Cayman Islands. He doesn't give a shit about anybody. He pulls out a gun and starts threatening her. Suzanne comes in. She's like, what are you doing? And then he tells the captain, I'm going to shoot. First of all, he's like, I'm going to shoot you to the captain. She's like, well, then who's going to drive the boat? He's like, oh, okay. Well, I'm going to shoot her.
Yeah, what the fuck?
And then they somehow get the gun away from him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that when they do that? Yeah. And they kind of have him hostage from this point forward.
Because he's dangerous. He's so dangerous. Yeah,
he's dangerous. He's totally dangerous. And his two guys are both dead, so it's now they're in charge. And
did you have this thought when they pushed Mike's body over the boat? I went, he still has that thing or whatever inside of him. Now his body's just going to wash up on shore somewhere?
Yeah. Well, and plus the other guy, Albert, got bit too. And later on, I mean, this happens several times in the movie where someone dies and it just cuts to them with the body wrapped up, thrown it in the water. So by the time this movie's over, there's like 5 or 6 infected corpses floating around the world. Which goes back to what we said earlier. The sequel to this would probably be some global, post-apocalyptic thing. Because it's like, nobody does a good job at containing this at all. The scientists don't. And none of these fucking idiots on the boat do. So,
Okay, if this was like real life, I would keep the body somewhere in quarantine, like a freezer or a fridge or something, until we got rescued into shore and be like, there's something wrong with this body. We don't know what it is, but it needs to be in quarantine, right?
Right. But they always just cut to them ditching the body in the water, and it's because Walter was like, I want to get rid of this body. Dead bodies are gross. I'm sure that's what happened. But, so now we enter a phase of the movie, which is weird, because it's like, now they all know the cat's there, and then the cat doesn't do anything for like 20 minutes or half an hour. It's kind of slow at this point. And this is when I realized, like, hold on, all these horny teens, nobody is fucking.
That we've seen. I mean, they've been so touchy-feely. I'm just like, Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, so maybe they did when we didn't see them, but it seems like, in a movie like this would show them have sex, because it's basically a slasher on a boat, only instead of like Jason, it's a cat, And I think this is a more entertaining boat slasher than the 2/3 of Jason Takes Manhattan, you know what I mean?
We don't get any boobs in this movie. We get like partial boobs.
Yeah, hints of boob.
I was waiting. There were moments where I went, "Oh, we're gonna get boobs." Nope, no boobs.
Yeah, it's probably another money thing. He's like, "Hey, girl," the director, who I just imagine talks exactly like Walter. Hey, girls, time to take. Even though we have heard his voice because he's in the movie too. But anyways, hey, girls, take off your tops. And they're like, "How much you paying us?" Nah. Oh, okay. Can we have you like open your shirts and like seduce the boys when they're making dinner? Yeah, okay, we'll do that.
That was a moment I was like, "Oh, boobs!" No.
Nope, they just stop right there. There was some very strategic avoiding the nipple.
Yes.
I'm sure it's a money thing. I'm sure it was a contract kind of thing, which is fine. Whatever. It's just funny that, the director, like, really, it's like clearly he was trying to go for it. They were just like, no, stop shooting these scenes where our tits are almost out. We're not going to take them out, There's a lot of things happening here. I was like, well, when are these people going to fuck? And so they start to get to that. But they cut to Corey, the blonde guy, who was a big fan of Martin, is holding the gun on him in Martin's room, I think, and is like, you suck, bro. At this point, they show a magazine cover.
Oh, that just said money?
Yeah, which is a real magazine. That's a real magazine.
Is it really?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh.
But it's so clearly a fake magazine cover is why I liked it. But, yeah. But, yeah, and Walter is trying to talk this Corey kid into, he's like, hey, I could give you a watch. I can give you a bunch of cash if you help me out to make sure this boat gets to the Cayman Islands no matter what,
Scumbag.
And it's funny what happens with that plot, which is nothing. But then we cut to Suzanne walking into her room, and she hears this meow, and she's like, "Oh my god, it's the cat!" And I'm like, "Hold on, cats don't say meow."
No, they don't.
Like, come on, lady. You wanted the cat. You like the cat. You must like cats. You don't know that cats don't go meow. Dogs don't say woof. By the way, and cows don't say moo.
Bark, bark.
I've never heard a chicken say cockle-doodle-doo.
Bark, bark, bark. Bark,
yeah, bark, bark, bark. I'm a dog. Oh, my God. But so that's, of course, it's not a cat. It's this fucking douchebag Corey. And she's like, oh, my God, Corey, you scared me. He goes, oh, you're just scared of a little cat? And I was like, yes! Have you not been paying attention? Like, the cat is fucking killing people. You fucking moron. Because Corey and Walter are both like that. Like, I don't see what the big problem is,
We don't see what the problem is. We're stranded in the middle of the ocean. We don't know where we are on the boat. There's a killer poisonous cat running around.
Yeah, cat's poisoning dudes. It's like, what the fuck?
What?
It's funny. So they start hooking up, and maybe they have sex, but when we cut away from them, she's still got her underpants, or her bikini bottom on, and he's still pretty much dressed, so I'm like, I don't know if they end up screwing or not. Maybe everybody in this is more chaste. It is funny though, because like I said, at this point, this is where you'd think the cat violence would start ramping up. Now they know what's going on. They know there's this weird poison cat, but it's just like all these like people having conversations and making out. But then, this is great. So Lance is healing from being shot in the shoulder by that guy earlier, and the girl Bobby's with him in bed, and he's like, I can't feel my arm. Because it's like he got shot in the shoulder, right? He's like, it's weird. I can't feel my arm. She's like, well, I'll make you feel better. And starts. I don't think there's a moment in this movie where that actress isn't wiggling.
No.
Right?
She wiggles the whole time.
She's constantly wiggling. And I just want people to know, I'm fine with that. I just think it's funny. She's a great wiggler. She looks really good wiggling. She's good at it. You know what I mean? Excellent wiggler. But yeah, she's very wiggly. But anyways, but she starts wiggling up on him. And he's like, well, I can't feel my arm, but I know another part of my body can feel stuff. I wish he would have just said, like, my dick. And she's like, yeah, I know you meant your dick. Can't feel his arm, right? And so they're going to start, like, getting undressed to have sex. And she moves the blanket, and the monster cat is chewing on his hand and he has bitten off several fingers. And his reaction is really something. Right?
Because remember when I mentioned before, cats can be so quiet and so stealthy that you don't even know they're there.
Yeah. But you know what? This is the only one that might put a hole in the theory that the cat only attacks bad people, because this guy hasn't done anything to the cat.
He hasn't done anything to the cat, but I feel like they're just all kind of just shitty people.
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, you could say that, but like it's weird. But and maybe the cat just doesn't like them, which is true. I mean, it's kind of how Jason operates too. So
When you said earlier when she brings the cat in and then like she doesn't do anything with it after that, she just like lets it go. No one's feeding the cat. They're not taking care of it.
Right, you're right. They're not nice to it. So yeah, that might be why the cat's just like, I'm fucking hungry, so I'm gonna eat your hand. That's probably what it is.
I think so. Num num num.
Yeah, Lance doesn't like this is happening, and he just immediately runs out of the cabin to the side of the boat, and he's gonna jump off. And the girl's like, no.
Because he goes, my blood is poison. My blood is poison. My blood is poison.
Yeah, no, that's... I wrote down what he's saying. I got the poison in my blood. He says it over and over again. He keeps shouting it. I got the poison in my blood. I got the poison in my blood. And Bobby's like, no, don't jump off. I gotta help you. I got the poison in my blood. And then they both topple over the edge. And then the two guys that are left, people do kind of die pretty quick, I guess, but the two guys that are left take their shoes off and jump in the water, and they look for them for like 4 seconds.
Oh man, I'm crying. That's so fucking funny.
It's so funny. But they jump in to look for him, but they look around twice, like, don't see him. Yeah. Let's go back up.
Oh man.
Like, what the fuck? Meanwhile, yes, Corey, the blonde dickhead who loves Walter, lets Walter out, and they go looking for the cat.
Is that when they start putting food out for the cat?
Yeah,
like all around the place.
For the cat. And they set this poison food out. Walter like leaves because he's just horrible at everything, and so Corey's like alone, and he's like, "Oh, the cat's not eating the food." And then the cat fucks his shit up.
Oh my God.
Like, he's got the best looking face afterwards, right? He has the best gross face.
I wrote that down too. I went, this is fucking rad looking. But also, should you be shooting a gun in the hull of a ship that you're trying to get fixed?
He's like in the bottom of the boat. And he shoots like some part of it and that steams up.
Oh,
but right before that, he shoots a literal hole in the hull. Water starts coming in. And then he shoots the thing, he gets steam in the face, so now I can't see. Well, that's when the cat kills him. And then it just does another just smash cut to them throwing his body overboard.
But his face was fucked up.
Yeah, his face is like a huge like rip in the middle. It was really cool.
It covered in blood.
Yeah, it was great.
So good.
And then they just throw him out.
Have we gotten to where they find out the food is contaminated? Is this when we find out?
Yeah, it's right around then because so she's starting to lose it Martin Hedgemont or whatever, the nerdy guy, I keep forgetting his name. He's like, we got to ration the food. She's like, no, you're lying to me, and all this stuff.
Well, the reason why I like Suzanne towards the end of it is this is when I felt like the acting was really good.
Yeah.
Was she?
Yeah, and I wrote...
is terrified. Like, she is losing her fucking shit. And she's so good at it.
Yeah, totally. I at this point I thought, she reminds me, and that actress's name is Sherry Shattuck, and she hasn't really done a whole lot of other things you've heard of, really. And it reminded me of Jessica Rothe, who's the star of Happy Death Day 1 and 2. Did you see those?
Oh, I haven't seen those.
Oh,
gosh, so much to watch.
Anyways, don't worry about it. But anyways, so Jessica Rothe is really great in those movies, and then hasn't really done much else. And Sherry Shattuck is really great in this movie, and hasn't done much else. And they just have similar vibes where they're like not just pretty blonde ladies, but they kind of they're good actresses, and they they're a little more interesting, I think. Have good personality, and it's just weird to me that they didn't really do much else. So I don't know. And Jessica Rothe, I'm sure, is still pretty young, so maybe she'll do more stuff. I don't know. But
and like Our Lady from Carnival of Souls.
Yeah, Candice Hilligoss. You're right. That's a great comparison. And
oh man,
last night you said you were texting me when you were watching it, and you said Walter's a butt, and you said, and then I forget what I said back, but I'm like, aren't some of the other characters cool? You said everybody's a butt except Suzanne gets kind of cool at the end, and I wanted to ask you. So, did you mean like this part where she's just like panicking and freaking out and going crazy? Is that what you meant?
Yeah, she starts to look like a feral cat. Like her hair gets fucking crazy looking.
Yeah.
Because, a lot of feral cats are usually that way because they're scared. They don't know where their next meal is going to be. They don't know where they're going to get fresh water. What happens to them on the boat after time?
Right. I think that's a great point, and I do not at all believe it was on purpose by the filmmakers, because that's too much of a you know what I mean? That's too thematically deep for them. Although, but now that we're talking about how good the actress is, Sherry Shattuck probably, because she seems like a smart person in real life, so I bet she probably like had that thought at least a little bit. But it's a great point because you're right, so.
Yeah, it's exactly what I made me think of. I was like, damn, she is really freaking out.
She gets more feral.
Yeah, I mean, and also when you're, when all you're worried about is like a killer cat, poisonous cat on the loose, the boat isn't moving, you're stranded.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to care about brushing your hair and shit like that.
Cabin fever.
There we go.
Cabin fever's going to set in.
Yeah.
So she's starting to lose it. The nerdy guy's like, we got to ration the food. So they realize, oh, God, the boat's starting to sink. We're all fucked.
Oh, my God. Walter goes, you need to fix that to the captain lady. And I go, well, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. He's sitting on the deck of the boat along with Suzanne, who's losing her marbles. And the captain's like, we got to do something. He's like, we're fucked. There's no reason to do anything anymore. You're a dumb bitch, is what he says again. It's like, Jesus Christ, man. Like... You can tell that it's not, like you said, not well written, because the actor's doing a good job at being a dickhead, but it's like, there's no, like, personality skeleton behind him being a dickhead. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, he's just a dick all the time. And it's like, well, there's not really any, because normally, like, a well-written character would have, like, some sort of motivation for being such an asshole to everybody, and he's just like, oh, you're a dumb bitch, just because, oh, we need him to be a jerk in this scene. So it's like, whatever.
I love this scene because the girl is like doing her painting her toenails, and she's definitely just lost touch with reality. She's disassociated from this entire thing, and she's laughing, and he's like, why are you laughing? You're gonna die. And then he starts laughing. It's just such a great fucking scene.
Yeah, they start going crazy. Mm-hmm. And the captain's like, screw you guys, me and the nerd. Because at this point, it's just the four of them left now.
Yep.
Everybody's dropping like flies. So her and the nerd are like, well, they're trying to fix stuff, I guess. And the nerd, being a biology student now, is learning mechanics, I guess. I don't know. But because he's like helping with wires and shit. But then so Suzanne decides to go get some food. Because there's that other funny scene where they're like, we don't have much food left, so like for dinner, they each get a tiny amount of dry cornflakes in a bowl and like a thimble full of champagne.
Yep, because they're out of fresh water.
Yeah, and Walter's like, how come we don't get anything else? They're like, where the fuck have you been?
They're like, you haven't done anything. You've just been sitting on your ass getting drunk this whole time.
This is happening. But yeah, at this point, Suzanne's like, well, she's suspicious because in her crazy state of mind, she thinks that Martin, the nerdy guy, and the captain girl are lying about the food so they can hoard it for themselves. And they're saying that the food's all been poisoned by the cat because they find that some of the food's been bitten into by the cat. Mm-hmm. And it's all contaminated.
Well, she gets in there because fucking Walter was being a douche to the captain lady, calling her that a fucking bitch and shit. And then she calls him an idiot and he pushes her and she drops her keys on the deck to the pantry where all the food is. And so she's like, oh, hell yeah. And that's probably why she thinks like, oh, they're hoarding it because she's got the keys and shit.
Right, which is funny because it's like the person who runs the boat has the keys to things on the boat. Yeah, she's clearly up to something.
Yeah, right?
It's like, that's her job to have the keys. Come on.
And I went, oh no, don't go eat the food.
Yeah.
No, we know what's going to happen now.
So she eats a little piece of bread. She's like, it's not poison. They were lying to me. Yeah, so she eats the food and then the cat shows up and she's like, oh God.
I knew it.
I knew it. You're so evil. But then she starts dying because she ate the fucking poison bread.
She gets a vein throbbing in the throat.
Yep, she gets a good throbbing death.
And she holds on to that lantern up until the moment she dies.
She loves her lantern. I love lamp.
As I was like, damn, she's still holding it? When is she going to drop it? How is she still holding it?
Yeah. Did you notice also, starting in like the last 20 minutes of the movie, I think it's around the time when Corey gets killed, when the music comes up with the cat scenes, they started adding in like a Jason-esque, like...
Yes, I noticed that too.
And out of fucking nowhere for no reason.
Like...
Yeah. It's so similar. And it wasn't happening before, though.
No.
Because the cat's already killed 3 or 4 people. It's like, okay, now we're doing this? Why? What? There's so many funny choices.
The music choices, the sound effects, the levels of things, audio-wise, made no fucking sense.
Yeah. If the cat's on screen, there's meow noises. Like you say, don't even see the cat saying it, but so often, like, if the cat's on screen, meow, 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 meow. It's
and
crazy.
Even when the camera is directly on the cat's face and the cat's mouth isn't even moving, there's meowing.
It's like,
fucking
okay.
Bizarre.
Yeah. But, even though everything was dumb and crazy in this movie, it adds together. I mean, this movie's very entertaining. Like, I'll watch this again. You know what I mean?
Fucking yeah.
It's really fun to watch. But yeah, so now we're down to 3 people. And now the boat's fucking sinking. The 3 people that are left are the captain and Martin, the nerdy guy, and shitbag Walter. Which, you know what? I really like the order in which characters die. I think it's clever because they, like, set stuff up, and, like, by the time it ends, like, you've got the 2 good people left and then the worst person left.
Yeah, yeah.
And I like that.
But then you see that, like, that Martin and the captain lady get together because they kiss at some point.
Or he kisses her on the cheek. Do they kiss on the lips?
They kiss, yeah.
Oh, do they? Okay, yeah.
She makes some, like, comment, too. She makes, like, some, like...
Yeah!
Some, like, sexy comment to him. I was like, yay, he got a chick, too.
Yeah, the good old-fashioned way. Meeting someone, feeling a connection with them, talking to them, and then being like, yeah, let's fuck. Not all the other crazy people like, let's fuck immediately. Who are you? Ah! Like, so...
Woman, man.
Yeah, animal from fucking Muppets. Woman! Totally. Oh my God, you're so right. It's like Kermit and Piggy and 18 animals. That's the cast of this movie. But
oh my God, that'd be a really, really, really funny Muppets movie.
Well, we've already got a great puppet.
If you just replaced all the characters with Muppet characters, oh my God.
That'd be great.
Who would be Walter?
There's not really a dickhead Muppet. He'd probably be Gonzo, because Gonzo sometimes gets used as, like, the shitty one, but maybe, like, they'd probably make a mean puppet, a mean character puppet, because most of the Muppets are good.
I feel like Bert and Ernie would be the 2 dudes.
Oh, that's great.
Right?
Yeah.
And then maybe, who would be their third? Who would be Martin?
Scooter.
Oh, yeah, Scooter. Oh, man.
Do you know what kind of animal Scooter is? I didn't know this for like 20 years. I only recently found out.
I forget.
He's a gopher.
Gopher.
I thought he was just a fucking Muppet. You know what I mean? Because there's characters that are just Muppets. They're not a thing, right? So I'm like, I just always assumed, like Bert and Ernie, they're just Muppets. So I always assumed Scooter was just a Muppet. But then at some point, at something I was watching with my daughter or something, they said he was a gopher. I'm like, he's a gopher? That's so fucking random. Yeah, Miss Piggy's a fish. What? Anyways, yeah, that'd be a good Muppet cast. And the Cat Muppet is great. So, and then George Kennedy, Mike, the unhappy thug, that'd be Snuffleupagus.
Fuck yeah.
Hey, Bird. I don't think we should let these punk kids on the boat. I hate girls. Hey, Bird, do you think we should shoot these children?
Nobody's getting in my way to get to the Caymans.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Bird, no one's getting between me and my money. God, I want to see this so bad.
Oh, my God.
The other guy, Clu Gulager, should be Gonzo. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Gonzo. And then the two hot ladies, Suzanne would be Janice. Mm-hmm. Like for surely. No. Bobby would be Janice. Hair color doesn't matter. Bobby would be Janice. Suzanne would be like Prairie Dawn. She was like a younger lady character on Sesame Street, but she was just like a nice lady. I don't really know who else. Oh, Miss Piggy. She'd be Miss... No. We already said the cat would be Miss Piggy. I don't know. I'm getting confused here. But yes, but the point is, yeah, they do, that's like a nice actual, like, little romantic storyline is the nerdy guy and the captain. And yeah, I forget what she says.
I don't remember when it was. I just remember it happening, being like, oh, they are going to hook up.
Yeah, which is nice. Good for them. So now the boat's sinking, everything's fucked, everybody's dead except the three of these people. And so Walter, they're like, we're going to get in the boat, get what you need. And of course, what's he going to fucking do? Go after his money. Mm-hmm. You know?
Well, he already has the 2 briefcases, and he's like, I gotta go back for the 3rd one. They're like, no, we don't have fucking time for that shit, dummy. He's like, well, I'm going anyways.
And guess what? You'd never believe who's down there.
waiting for him.
Yeah,
and this was
waiting on his dumbass.
This was when the meowing got out of control.
Yes, yeah.
But this was actually a really cool kill, though.
It is, but I feel like I wanted to see Walter get more torn apart because he's such a piece of shit. He doesn't even get the worst death.
No.
You know?
I like the underwater shot with like the blood and stuff and the hand puppet, but yeah, you're right. He should have had a way more dramatic cat kill. How do you think he should have went?
I want to see, like, the cat, you know what would be great? And, you know, it's obviously, I'm sure they would if they have more budget or time or whatever, but, like, I would love to see the cat, like, rip his head apart, like, or maybe jump through his head or rip it in half.
Or, since the thing can come out of the cat's mouth, what if it went into Walter's mouth and, like his head fucking exploded?
Yeah, kind of like in the Alien movie, shooting the little thing out of its mouth through a guy's face.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be cool. Yeah. So, you know, it's too bad. You know what? This is another movie that'd be prime for a remake, just like we said with Versus, because it's not perfect, but it's got good bones. That's what you said for Versus. This movie also has good bones, because it's like stupid bones, but awesome stupid bones. You know what I mean?
It's like if Weekend at Bernie's and like Pet Sematary had a baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like I said, it's kind of like the first part of Jason Takes Manhattan.
Yeah.
I think that came out a year later or something. But anyways, yeah, but it kills Walter, which is good. And then so then we cut to the 2 people, the scientist and captain are all now that's left. So the guy goes in to find Walter. He sees Walter's dead. So he goes back, and the lady's like, "Did Walter make it?" No. But what's in this briefcase? But then they're like, "Oh, we got money." She's like, "I can buy the boat."
Yeah, this scene was so weird because then that sitcom-y kind of music starts to play.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so yay, they survived and they're going to have a good life. Yay, but why is this music playing?
Yeah. I know. And then the cat attacks. This is my favorite cat stuff, maybe, with the puppet, because it's just ridiculous. Because he's like, oh no, look! And so they turn over to the boat, which is like a foot away from them, and the cat's like on the edge of the boat, like, ah! And it jumps on the guy, and then he like throws it in the water, right? And she's like, did it get you? He's, no, it didn't get me.
No, I think I'm good.
Yeah, we're good. And then again, the cat public. Oh, it's so good. And they're like, we gotta give it something to float on.
And he almost throws the whole briefcase with the money. And she's like, no, wait.
She's like, you fucking moron. I want to buy a new boat.
Put it in this duffel bag.
Yeah, I think later on she's going to wonder, like, I don't know, like, if I should stay with this guy. It was really nice when we were dying on a boat together, but, like, now I'm back on land. There's men everywhere. I don't know if I need to stick with this one.
Yeah, and his critical thinking skills, like, you're really going to throw $1 million over the side? Come on.
Right. But they throw the briefcase.
The cat climbs up on the briefcase, and it is my favorite shot of the entire movie. When the cat is just floating backwards, and the look on the cat's face is so fucking comical. Like, it's been through some shit.
Yeah.
And just the music playing, oh my God. I had to send it to you because I was cracking.
Yeah. Because it's still it's the monster cat the whole time at this point too, right? It's not the normal cat anymore. Yeah.
It's just slowly moving backwards like, damn it. They fucking figured out how I am going to leave them alone. Shit.
Yeah. I want to float on something. What? But yeah, then it cuts to there on this whatever Caribbean island they've ended up on, and they're telling Austin Stoker is the actor they're talking to, and when it cuts in, he's just like, yeah, so this cat thing, clearly you guys are just really upset.
Does he mention any of the people that are dead?
No, not really. No. And they tell him, I guess they told him the story. He just doesn't believe them. She's like, all right, get out of here. And then he holds the bag. And for a second, there's a moment of apprehension. Because they're like, oh, he's got the bag. But then he gives it to them and they leave.
I know. He was like, oh, you're not keeping that bag. I know what's in that bag.
And so they walk off. And then we get the greatest last shot of any movie ever. So... Oh, man, this last shot is so fucking awesome, and it makes pretty much zero sense to me. It cuts to the beach. You see an open briefcase. The silver briefcase the cat was floating on is sitting there. Mm-hmm. And there's a black cat next to it. And then what happens?
Then a small child goes, kitty! Cat! Oh, there's a cat! And goes and picks up the cat.
It freezes on him.
The fucking freeze! But then it starts closing up on you. It's like,
and it plays this music like,
my God.
Not like that, but it's like scary music.
Why is the cat black now?
That's the thing, is like he picks up the cat, it freezes on him, it zooms in on him, and the music's like it's scary, and it's like, okay, why is this scary? What cat is this? Did the alien jump in did the alien or whatever the fuck it is jump in a different cat now? Like, why is this bad?
Oh, like, what is this? Why?
It's really weird. It's really like, what is that?
It does go into our theory though, Timmy, of all of these infected bodies washing up on shore. Like, that would have been a cool way to end this movie, is have a body wash up on shore.
Yeah.
And then just like a close up of that, and like maybe like a bulge or something like out of their neck. That would have been cool.
Right. And then show the cat. Like, because that could very well be what they meant, but they don't give us enough visual information to make that jump. You know what I mean?
Yeah, with like the cat in the background of the shot. And then they did like a close up of the cat. Yeah. That would have been cool.
Just anything.
Anything else. Or the briefcase washing up on shore, the kid opening it, finding a bunch of money, and then just the cat just kind of like walks behind the kid.
Yeah, but there's no money in the briefcase.
Oh, yeah, because they took it all. But it could have washed up because the boat sunk, so the other briefcases are still out there, right? That's a bit of a stretch, though.
Yeah, well, the whole thing's a stretch because, like, they don't give us any basis to make this on. It's just because we're talking about it that we could even think that way. Because the end doesn't give all it says like, here's a briefcase, here's another cat, and this is scary. It's like, why?
Uninvited.
I noticed in the credits, like like I said, all the soundtrack songs are by the same guy, same band or whatever, and I'm like, they're definitely just friends of the director.
Yeah.
They didn't win a talent contest, that's for sure. But I noticed one of the songs is called Uninvited.
Of course it is.
I was sad about it because you don't hear any cheesy 80s vocalists going like, "You're uninvited!"
Missed fucking opportunity. That could have been playing during the credits.
Right. Like, all those movies have stuff like that from that time. It's a great thing. I love it. And then in the 90s, it became rap songs that tell you the story of the movie you just watched. Which, that'd be great in this, too.
You were uninvited. You're a cat.
Yeah.
Go.
Uninvited cat. That's where it's at. Got a bad habit to chew up people like a rabbit. Or whatever. But, yeah, it's, movies are fucking, that's crazy. And it's,
so good.
You know, we were talking about how there's stuff like, we always say you don't have to explain everything. But it's like the ending of this movie, and there's other points where it's like, okay, well, we need a little more information.
Can I get something? Anything? No? Okay.
I think this guy was just some dude that wanted to make a movie. He did do he did a bunch of movies. He did one called Satan's Cheerleaders. That's a good name for something.
That's a great fucking name.
Benedict High School's cheerleaders are not shy or sweet. The football team knows them well, and Billy, the school's disturbed janitor, would like to. In the locker room, the girls shower and dress, unaware of the eyes which secretly watch them. They do not know, here we go, they do not know that a curse has been placed on their clothes and that their trip to the first big football game of the season might sideline them for eternity. What is that? That's great. What?
Who put the curse?
Wow.
I need to know who put the curse on the clothes.
Yeah. Well, I want to see what happens. So then the cheerleaders have these possessed shirts on, so it makes their boobs evil, or what? You know, like. But that was also written and directed by Graydon Clark, so I bet there's not much of an explanation. But oh wow, but that's got cinematography by Dean Cundy, who went on to become a huge, big deal cinematographer.
Well, damn it, we might have to watch that sometime down the road.
Yeah. He shot Halloween. He also shot like a ton of huge movies. Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Roadhouse, Jurassic Park, you know.
Wait, weren't we looking for a movie for May that's like school themed?
Oh yeah.
Is that too soon to do another movie by the same director?
No, because he's a fucking what do you call it? An auteur, you know. His work must be it's very academic of us to want to watch more of his movies, right? So
hey, look at us.
I don't know. Maybe this one actually has tits in it too.
Oh my god! If it doesn't, I'm gonna be so upset.
It's like, come on, man, they're evil cheerleaders. Come on.
They're gonna have to take off the possessed clothes at some point.
Come on. Yeah. So I bet it's gonna be really hard to find though. It seems like it's gonna be hard to find.
All right. Well, maybe.
But I think we're done talking about this movie, right? What do you think? I think we covered it. It's would you recommend this to people to watch?
I fucking would.
Yeah.
You were uninvited, pussycat, but you killed everybody on that boat. You did a good job. Yeah, kitty cat.
You're a pretty kitty, and you're uninvited. Oh, I wrote down somewhere what I would have made the slogan for the movie. Let me see if I can find it. Like, you know, like in a trailer or something. Oh, there we go. Like in the beginning of the trailer, let's say they showed like the pretty cat, and then the narrator voice goes, "There's a cat in that cat, and it wants to eat your face." That'd be good, right? In a trailer or poster for this. There's a cat in the cat. Oh, they could have called this Cat in the Cat.
Cat in the Cat?
The Cat in the Cat. Graydon Clark's The Cat in the Cat. It'd be like his little Dr. Seuss tribute. Anyways.
Watch Uninvited. It's fucking hilarious.
Watch it with your friends. Maybe drink or do drugs and watch it. It's definitely something like that. You know?
You can follow us on our Instagram, Urn Full of Popcorn. That's URNFULLA Popcorn. We also have a website, urnfulofpopcorn.com. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and on our website. Lots of places to listen to us. Go on and on and on about all these awesome fucking movies.
Cool. Well, that's Urn Full of Popcorn today. Goodbye. Thank you to Jordan Cooper. for writing the theme song. Oh yeah, thank you to Steve Ward. And our country's officially broke up since the last time we did one of these. But you can still call us, Steve.
Thanks for the logo, Steve.
Yeah. Oh yeah, didn't say why we thank him, right?
He hasn't done anything. We just want to always give him a shout out.
He's Canadian. Yeah, but no, their prime minister this week was like, yeah, we're done with the U.S. Fuck them.
Yeah, I'm ready for everyone else to be done with us, too.
No, they're gonna. Yeah. And what do you think's gonna happen next? You ever seen a French nuclear missile? We're gonna see one up close. Anyways, yeah, well, that's a weird way to end this. Whatever. Good job, everybody. Hold on! You were gonna tell me how you peed yourself in this movie, though.
Yeah, when the cat was on the suitcase going backwards, I pissed my pants. I was laughing so hard.
You said that earlier, but you said that, and I thought you were just saying it metaphorically because I forgot that you actually pissed yourself.
I actually peed my pants. I was laughing so hard. I must have had to pee because I was drinking Coors Light and had held it for a little bit, and then I just started laughing so hard that I just went, pee. I rewound it 5 different times to watch it because it was making me so happy. It was so funny. I didn't even care. I pissed myself.
So did you rewatch it 5 times? Did you pee every time?
No, just that first time because I wasn't expecting the cat's face and then just like the slow-mo shot of it going away and just the funny sitcom music was happening. It was just everything about it was just, it was so fucking funny.
That's really crazy. Can I put this in the episode? You talk about pissing your pants?
Yeah, sure.